So I wanted to talk to you a little bit about fasting and weight loss. And that might sound like a no-brainer. Guess what? You don't eat, you lose weight. But that's not always the case. One of the biggest problems that we're faced with in our country is a hormone resistance. And we're not just talking about, your thyroid hormones, but we also have insulin resistance and leptin resistance. We have resistance to all these different hormones. So that's why you might have even tried a diet or a new exercise and lost a little bit of weight, but then it came back up and we're on this roller coaster that we're always talking about. But fasting for weight loss can be so different for many people. So I'm going to share a couple stories. Number one, Dr. Dan and I are on our third day of our 5-day water fast. And in the first 2 days, Dr. Dan lost 9 pounds. Now, what does that tell us? That he loses weight fast? No, that actually tells us that he just had a lot of inflammation. So sometimes inflammation is the first thing that will go as you're fasting, which is awesome. But that doesn't technically mean that he lost any fat. I personally, I've been working on getting just, that last bit of baby fat off. That so many of us have after having kids, but I have only lost 2 pounds in 3 days of eating nothing, and I'm like, are you kidding me? What gives? But what's really important to know is a water fast, what happens as your body is entering into autophagy, your stem cells surge. So your stem cells are going to go up. But what we're going to do after this fast, first off, the next week, check out our Facebook, because we're gonna be breaking that fast, and we're gonna break it correctly. Because when you break it correctly and then you continue on a path of intermittent fasting, which is just eating within a certain window, and you can decide what your own window is. When that happens, sometimes your actual weight loss and the muscle gains don't actually happen until a month or even 2 months later. Because what happens is the stem cells get deposited into the muscle tissue, and then it takes a couple weeks sometimes. So it's really amazing that you're doing a water fast, and it doesn't matter what your weight is and how you feel or anything at day 5. Those benefits are going to continue healing your body for the next month or 2 or 3 even. So that's really powerful, and that also leads us into just acknowledging that doing this fast is not like a once-in-a-lifetime thing, or even once a year, but it might be best for you to do one once a month, or once every other month, or maybe just quarterly, or maybe once a year is just fine. It really just depends on your goals. But the amazing thing is, let's say after your first 5-day water fast, or even if you do 3 or 4, you haven't lost any weight. Each time you do a fast, your body is going to become more sensitive to hormones, and it's going to continue healing. The stem cells are going to go up. It's going to be, just amazing. I can tell you that my brain already feels clearer after just 3 days. And, we talk about 3, 4, and 5 days. 3 days is usually the hardest for people. Day 4, sometimes you feel a lot better, and then day 5 is really where your body's entering this max autophagy phase, which we'll stay tuned. We'll kind of talk about that in detail.